We're always told to just push harder to get what we want, right? Hustle more, grind longer. But what if all that forceful, white-knuckle effort is the very thing that's actually holding you back? It's this super frustrating paradox that I bet a lot of us have felt. So today, we're going to dive into this counterintuitive idea that letting go might just be the real secret to getting everything you've ever wanted. Have you ever felt this? I mean, really felt it. You set a clear goal, you're putting in the work, but you just keep hitting a wall. It feels like you're pushing this giant boulder uphill only to watch it roll right back down. If that sounds familiar, listen. It's not you. It's not some personal failing. It's a really common experience, this internal resistance that just builds and builds the more desperately we chase something. Well, there's actually a name for this. Philosophers call it the backwards law. And the principle is simple. The more you try to force something, the more it resists you. It's kind of like trying to fall asleep, right? The more you stress about not sleeping, the more wide awake you feel. Hustle culture basically traps us in this state of scarcity. Every desperate action we take just reinforces this deep down belief that we lack what we want, and that creates this powerful internal tug of war. Okay, so what is actually going on here? This isn't some kind of magic or woo-woo philosophy. It's straight up biology. The resistance you're feeling is a very real internal conflict, a battle between two fundamentally different states of being. Let's break them down. Okay, here's the absolute key. You cannot be in both of these states at the same time. It's one or the other. The primal state, that's your survival mode, it's driven by your sympathetic nervous system, and it's all about fear, lack, and contraction. It floods your body with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Now, that's great if you need to run from a tiger, but it's terrible for building a business because it literally shuts down your higher level thinking. On the flip side, you have the powerful state. This is your creative mode, run by your parasympathetic nervous system. This is where trust, calm, and expansion live. This is the state where your best ideas, your wisdom, it all just shows up. And this is the real kicker. When you desperately need an outcome, when you feel that sense of lack, you are, by definition, in a survival state. Biologically, what's happening is that blood flow is being pulled away from your creative forebrain and sent to your arms and legs for fight or flight. Your body is preparing for a threat, not for innovation. You just can't create when your body thinks its number one priority is just to survive. So if forcing things from that primal state is the problem, then what's the solution? And look, it's not about giving up or just being passive and lazy. The real answer lies in mastering a really sophisticated and incredibly powerful skill, the art of detachment. Now let's be crystal clear about something. Detachment is not apathy. Apathy is giving up. It's a low-frequency state of inaction, of not caring. Detachment is the opposite. It's an active, high-frequency state of allowance. It's the ability to hold a crystal-clear intention while completely letting go of your rigid grip on how and when it's going to happen. It's active trust, not an absence of caring. Big difference. Ancient yogic philosophy actually has these two beautiful concepts that nail this perfectly: abhyasa and vairagya. The best way to think about them is as the two wings of a bird. You absolutely need both to be able to fly. Abhyasa is the disciplined, focused, relentless practice you put in every single day. That's the grind. But vairagya is the non-attachment to the outcome, that calm surrender. Our modern world is obsessed with abhyasa, but it has almost completely forgotten all about vairagya, the letting go. Just picture an archer for a second. Abhyasa is the years and years of practice. It's the steady hand, the focused eye, the perfect aim. That's all the hard work. But vairagya, that's the moment of release, because once that arrow is in the air, the archer can't do anything to force it to the target. They can't will it there. They have to trust the process, let go completely, and just observe. That is the balance we're talking about. Okay, so the theory makes sense, right? But the million-dollar question is, how do we actually do this? How do we put it into practice? So let's build an actionable tool that can help shift you from that primal state of wanting to the powerful state of having. Here is the central challenge. This is the whole game. We usually wait for the result before we give ourselves permission to feel good. We tell ourselves things like, okay, once I get the money, then I'll finally feel secure. But that is a completely backwards approach. The real work, the secret, is to generate the feeling first. So how in the world do we do that without feeling like we're just faking it? You do it by building a blueprint. You reverse engineer your future self. So, for example, let's say your goal is a $10 million net worth. What are the emotions of that person? Probably not stress and anxiety, right? More like security, calm, generosity. And what are the thoughts? Not what if I fail, but things like opportunities are everywhere. And here's the most important part. What are the actions? This is not about buying a jet. It's about practicing the state of being that person in small, daily ways. You practice generosity by leaving a slightly larger tip. You practice valuing your time by setting one clear boundary this week. And listen, this is not a fake it till you make it kind of thing. This isn't a one-off mental trick. This is a daily rehearsal. It's like an athlete visualizing the perfect race over and over. You are practicing the emotions, the thoughts, and the small-scale actions of the person you intend to become every single day. You're literally training your nervous system, rewiring it to accept this new reality as your default setting. So over time, as you do this daily practice, something really amazing starts to happen. It leads to the ultimate payoff, a fundamental shift in where you place your focus. You move from being obsessed with the results to truly falling in love with the process itself. Think about it. A results-oriented person ties their emotions to things they can't control: the outcome, other people's decisions, the market. It's an incredibly fragile system, a total emotional roller coaster. But a process-oriented person, they focus only on what they can control, which is the quality of their own actions, their own thoughts, their own state. This creates real emotional stability and peace. It's a much more robust system because you are back in the driver's seat. Let's use one final analogy to really nail this down. Think of a professional golfer. The driving range, that's where they do the disciplined practice. That's abhyasa. They are consciously, analytically breaking down every single tiny component of their swing, making deliberate micro-adjustments. This is where that focused, conscious effort is absolutely crucial. But the moment they step onto the course for the tournament, that entire mindset has to flip. This is vairagya. This is detached performance. If they tried to consciously control every muscle during the actual game, they would be a mess. They would fail miserably. Their only job at that point is to trust the thousands of hours of practice and just let the swing happen through them. You see, the real skill is knowing when you're on the driving range and when you're in the tournament. So we end with this one question. We spend so much of our lives, so much energy, trying to control and manipulate the external world. But what if that's not the game at all? What if the only prize that truly matters, the only variable you can ever really command, is your own internal state? What if your only job is to master the world inside you, knowing that the outside world will inevitably, eventually, rearrange itself to reflect that mastery? That right there is the power of the backwards law.